with regard to basically Karthir's career, if one could call it. Okay, Karthir will retain his position as chief Magian priest through 4 Shahs after Shahpur. So he's going to retain his position as chief Magian priest through 4 more Shahs, and he'll dominate religious affairs. And he'll build the power of the Zoroastrian priesthood. He will build the power of the Zoroastrian priesthood, which will grow to rival and surpass that of the Iranian nobility. That's what a lot of them are afraid of, right? So he's going to actually increase the power of the Zoroastrian priesthood until they begin to grow and rival and surpass that of the Iranian nobility. This is not going to be a great sign, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'll be with you in 1 second. The nobility is responsible for what yes, they're responsible for major responsibilities. That's right, of an army. So obviously, if you're going to get word of the power of the priesthood, you sit guards on that chair. They don't have their own army, which means that having Zoroastrian priesthood begins to rise and enforce Sassanian state's power will begin to decrease militarily. Okay? So there's an inverse relationship there. Now, Sarah, you have a question or comment? Why not? Yeah. you know, they're different from us one. And in 309, you're going to see Shahpur II come to power. If I mention the name of a ruler and I don't mention a numeral after that, assume it's the first. So when I talk about Shahpur, I mean the first. If it's somebody other than the first, I'm going to use the numeral or speak to each other.
What made Karthir and his Magi priesthood powerful if they didn't have any kind of military strength? What was powerful about them?
Okay, the Shah will acknowledge their power, and he's going to basically, of course, allow them to make decisions and lesser nobility to have their armies will in fact enforce the Shah's will. But that's going to be a big problem because you see the Dehgans may not like this. Sometimes the Dehgans benefit from it too, because the Dehgans figure, you know what, we don't have to worry about defending the empire. And that's okay during times of peace. Okay, but during times of war, then they'll regret that, and we'll come to that.
So the 2 things. One, the nobility would kind of be jealous of the priesthood, correct?
Yes. Now I'm going to tell you something. A lot of nobles are going to lament the decrease in power, but sometimes the nobility lives very large themselves, meaning they're engaged in material accoutrements, other things. And as long as their lifestyles are not imposed upon economically, as long as the wealth flows in from the farmers below them, they kind of, while they regret the loss of political power, some of them are okay with it as long as it doesn't impinge upon their own lifestyles, their lavish lifestyles.
Did they come to practice Zoroastrianism?
Yes. They'll practice Zoroastrianism,
so
but
they didn't follow the priesthood, because they didn't have influence over the Dehgans?
Well, remember that Zoroastrianism is not a congregationalist faith. So it's not like they're going to have to show up to a fire temple all the time. This is, remember that in Zoroastrianism, the Zoroastrians only get together for communal holidays, and there are only a handful of them every year, including Nowruz, which is coming up tomorrow. Okay, the Iranian New Year. So basically, they are not going to feel like they've been tyrannized by religion, and that's another reason why some of them acquiesce in this, because of the fact that they really don't fall under the thumb of the Magi directly. There are going to be some nobles who do have political influence, but it's going to be muted during this time by the fact that they don't have a lot of support from the Shah and other nobles.
There's no like pope like reverence or like following like that.
They'll acknowledge its beliefs, but as far as actually, following a particular set code of let's go to an Atash Bahram for worship, no. And remember, Congregationalist worship creates a tight social fabric. If there's no strong Congregationalist worship, people sometimes go their own ways. It doesn't mean that it won't be cognizant of the faith, but that will become a matter for private worship, Josh, rather than public worship. Okay? And we had Marcos, and then we'll have Noah. That's going to be a total of, well, he came into power under Shahpur II. 4 more shots after that, 5. And Pamela?
Well, when you say the Magi Karthir is like an oracle, the way the oracle was to the king?
Well, an oracle, technically speaking, would be a clairvoyant. Think of him more as the head mobed of the Magi, the head priest, the chief priest. Okay, you think of the chief priest of the Sanhedrin. Okay, then you think of the Pope as being basically a Christ vicar on earth. Okay, think of him as being the pinnacle for the faith of Zoroastrianism, which is now official state faith. And Paul?
Seems like this is also following classic pattern of class warfare. And you always look at it between, like, say, peasants and aristocracy. But it's also often between warrior classes and priest classes, too.
This is going to be very complicated socioeconomic framework. And I've only scratched the surface of it, Paul. And you'll see that what you say is true. This is going to be a basically intricate tapestry, not a child's painting. So we'll basically explore it.
You see a similar thing in European history, especially in the Renaissance.
Human beings, sure. Human beings are not different. Okay? Our institutions may be different, but our emotional composite is basically the same. What drives human beings is basically the same. You're always going to have ambitious people and people who are not ambitious in every society, right? And a lot of whether they end up becoming effective or not depends on factors sometimes within their control, sometimes factors outside their control. Now, when Shahpur II comes to power in 309, Shahpur II is going to rule for 70 years till his death in 379. So this is an incredible amount of time. You're talking about a guy who's going to be ruling 17.5 presidential terms. Now, Shahpur II is a Zoroastrian zealot. He's a fanatic. There's no easy way to basically phrase that. That's exactly what he is. And he's going to finance frequent wars. He's going to finance frequent wars, and this is how he's going to basically pay for it. He's going to double the taxes on Christians. And when the Christians protest these crushing taxes, he's going to start a ruthless 40-year persecution of Christians, Jews, and other religious minorities. This is aberrant. For the most part, even though the Sassanids are an official Zoroastrian state, for the most part, Ardashir, Shahpur at the beginning were, or later on were tolerant. This is unusual, okay? Now, I'm going to basically tell you that Shahpur II is also going to force the allegiance of Arabs with a military campaign. And the Arabs, keep in mind, at this point, are not Islamic. Okay, the Prophet Muhammad won't be born until 571 AD. He forced the allegiance of Arabs with a military campaign, and he's going to actually go into Arabia with his troops, and this is how he's going to face the Arabs. He knows that they depend on water, So he's going to fill up a lot of water for his troops. When he gets into Arabia, he's going to fill up the Arabs' wells with sand. And he's going to actually level the city of Susa, which of course is back in Iran, after they had a revolt against him. So after he suppresses Arabia, he's going to level Susa after a revolt against him, and he's going to level them by having elephants trample their homes. This is just during the, for Susa, yes. For the Arabs, he wants to force allegiance. There's going to be basically a revolt in Armenia. And Armenia is basically, remember, a client state of Iran at this point. And this is how Shahpur II will deal with the revolt in Armenia. In 364, he will have the king of Armenia blinded. And then war breaks out. After the king is blinded. Between Rome and Iran, once again, remember I told you there's going to be a lot of hostility there. And this battle will be over Armenia. The Romans would like to have it back.
So it's between Rome and Persia over Armenia?
Excuse me, Rome and Persia over Armenia. Yes, I apologize. So there's a split between Rome and Iran over Armenia, and they're both going to fight over Armenia. And in 428, the Sassanians will take direct control. In 428, the Sassanians will take direct control. And this is going to be very, very interesting because basically in 451, the Christian kingdom of Armenia, remember Armenia is a Christian kingdom, and did you get a question, Peter? Go ahead. Yeah. I'm Shahpur II. I am Shah. I'm appointed to the throne by the ones who have inspired the world. You are a different faith. You do not believe in my God. You are a guest in my home. You and I do not have an identity. Okay? If you're living in Persia and you don't follow the Christian faith, then you're going to pay for the privilege of serving Jesus Christ. Okay? This is almost similar. I wouldn't make too tight an analogy between the status of dhimmi under Muslims. Okay? If you're Jew or Christian, you live under a Muslim community, you pay the jizya, head tax on basically dhimmi, people who look, that basically have the right to, I see you and I'll be with you in a second, that basically have the right to practice their own faith in an area where the majority of the people are not. Now, Lawrence, you have a question, and we'll go to Dave. Well, here's the deal. Let me make this clear. Governments don't like it when you do not pay taxes, and there will be attempts by some people not to pay. The Christians feel that this is an incredibly unfair burden. However, the Christians live in recognizable communities. They have to, because if they're going to worship together. Remember, Christianity, unlike Zoroastrianism, is a congregational thing. They meet in church. They worship together. Okay? They're going to basically get evicted if they do not pay taxes as a community, and they're responsible to the community for paying the taxes, similar to the military system and under the auditors. And if they do not pay the taxes, people get hurt. And we had David and then Tracy. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, you can tell me. You're not pretty sure. Okay. Okay, Tracy, you feel old enough to speak? and the Jews. And Shahpur II doesn't room without one. Okay, he's an aggressive Zoroastrian. Oh, okay. Persecution doesn't always have to mean that you can't. It means that you can deny him social privileges, and it means that you could also put unfair burdens on them. So I think by taxing someone double what the average population pays, I think that's a form of persecution in a way. Do you not? Because in effect what they're doing is they're putting an unnecessary burden on someone else, making their lives more difficult. Persecution doesn't always necessarily mean genocide. Okay? This is not going to be, the final solution. That wasn't meant to be that. I mean, that type of message came in the 20th century. Okay? Back then, it wasn't like we're going to wipe out everyone. However, the idea of the way you treat the Zoroastrians might be that way. Excuse me, not the Zoroastrians, the Manichaeans might be that way. Because the Manichaeans were considered anti-state. And then you just write that. That's a heresy. And the view of the actual go on.
What if people who tended to practice Zoroastrian,
good question, because if they're among the Christian community, for you to abjure the Christian faith, you would experience castigation, opprobrium, and there are some people that believe that if you pronounce Jesus, that you definitely don't get saved, okay? So people believe that. If there are people who are cynical and they basically embrace the Zoroastrian faith, then chances are they would evade the tax. However, it would be for someone right among the Christian community, and in the event that they need a social support, they can deny that. Which means, in effect, that they have to find a new community and whole new links between people. They will be societal pariahs, outcasts. Okay? And there's some other hands. We have Marcos, and then we have Marcello, right? Okay, Marcos. Don't worry about the other. Don't worry about the other monos. That's okay. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. Okay. Well, I decided not to give you a list of monarchs because there are so many of them. I've decided that you should only remember a few. Is that okay? Because I'm afraid that if I throw too many at you, like Gazdegerd and the first, the seconds, and Karthir and Shirvan and people like that, it might be a little too much. I'm trying to simplify as much as possible. Okay, and so we have Marcello and Simeon. Marcello, speak to me.
After Shahpur and all of they suppressed Arabia, what happened in the capital of Susa?
The capital of Susa will undergo a revolt against the Sassanid Persians, and they're going to have the revolt crushed, and the people of that town are going to have their buildings trampled by elephants. Okay, it'll be lovely. Susa will be lovely.
And that list of kings or shahs, when will we be going over that?
Okay. How many people would like a list of it?
The list of what?
Of the shahs, the Sassanids, and our Sassanids. You don't need it in order to take the test, but if you want it, I will tell people, please. So I will give you, in effect, I'll create one for those that want it. Okay? That's all right. Let me know your birthday. I'll mail it to you. Happy birthday. And here's, a list of the Sassanid monarchs. Yes,
so we should only know, let's say, Ardashir and
Shahpur the first, Shahpur the second, and Khusros, and I'll talk about the others later, right? Okay. Because I don't want to throw every single monarch at you any more than they do in European history. Okay, because not all of them are of the same importance, right? In English history, I don't think you would give the same importance to, say, Lady Jane Grey that you would give to James I or whatever. Okay, now, do we have any more comments? Yes, Josh.
Just one quick question. What did they serve? What religion did they practice in Arabia at this time?
At this time, they were animistic. They tended to be animists and polytheists. They believed in many gods, gods of nature, basically And they believed also that there were inanimate objects that had spiritual consciousness. So they're animistic shamans. Okay? Now, with regard to 451, Zoroastrianism is going to be imposed upon the Christian population of Armenia, albeit temporarily, and the taxes will be increased. So basically by the 450s, Armenia is pretty much under the thumb of the Sassanians. Okay, so the Sassanians basically do successfully wrest it from the Romans. However, the Romans will contest other areas of the Middle East with the Sassanids. Cool?
So would Armenia be better off under Roman control?
At this point in time, yes, because the Armenians were a Christian kingdom, and at this point Rome was a Christian empire in the 400s, okay? Becoming officially Christian under Dehgans, who ruled the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire from 378 to 395. Now, with regard to Shahpur II, he was the most active Sassanid ruler when it came to engaging the Roman Empire in warfare. And in 359, he's going to defeat the Romans in Mesopotamia. This will be Shahpur II. And he's going to defeat another Roman army in Iraq at a place called Samarra. Samarra. And this defeat of the Romans at Samarra by Shahpur II will take place in 363, and this is a very important battle because the Roman emperor will be killed in it, and that is the last Roman emperor that wanted to bring Rome back to the pagan ways, and that was Julian the apostate. He wanted to revive the old Roman gods, old Roman pantheon of gods, and Julian the apostate is going to be killed at Samarra. By the way, the Christians rejoice about this, because he's trying in effect to get rid of Christianity in the Roman Empire. This is God's judgment on a heretic. Never mind the fact that it was Zoroastrians that killed him. You want to bring back Jupiter and the Roman. Yes. At Mesopotamian 359. Now, Julian's successor, a person named Jovi, will surrender all Roman lands east of the Tigris River.
I'm sorry, his name is Jovian?
Yes, Jovian.
That's like another name for Jupiter.
That's exactly right. By Jove, that British expression is by Jupiter. The word jovial, meaning happy, is actually from Jupiter.
Kind of ironic that Jovian is in between, even though they're trying to worship his namesake.
Oh, very much so.
It's just like a window, right?
Yeah, it's kind of strange. But basically, all Roman lands of the east of the Tigris will go to Persia. And basically, you're going to see the Romans deny any claim of influence in Armenia. Yes. Will surrender all Roman land east of the Tigris River. All of that will go to Iran. Ken. They got their lives. They were defeated in battle. And basically, in effect, the Romans will give up any claim to influence in Armenia. Now,